What up, everybody? You're now tuned into Candid Conversations. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley, back today with another live stream. Shout out to all my audio listeners. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, man. If you didn't catch my show last night, I did my sports show last night. Me and Mr. Reed, we went in on these NBA playoffs, had a bunch of different stories, man. So go check that out. I cannot believe the Suns got their head beat in by the Mavericks last night. It was absolutely not a competitive game. Hey, I already know in the huddle, Sean, when they said, all right, man, we're going to run this play. All right, 1, 2, 3, Cabo. They were already going fishing, dog. They were going fishing, dog. They wouldn't play no basketball last night.
So they was already checked out. They on vacation.
They were on vacation last night, man. So
that's funny.
Man, we gonna get into it, man. Shout out to my co-host, Mr. Chantel. How you feeling today?
What's up, man? Hey, any day above ground is a good one, baby. Despite what I'm going through, don't matter.
That's it, man. It could always be worse. I have to remember it and tell myself that daily. It can always be worse.
Always can be worse, brother.
Yeah. So, man, you see the title, man. Men. And I would say women too. For the women who are open-minded and want to receive the message and not play the victim. But we have to wake up. We have to wake up. And one of the ways you wake up is, especially for men, you have to be accountable as a man. You can't play the victim. It's not for us. That's not our game. That's not an arena we need to be in. We can't be in because men who aren't accountable, they're in the ground or they're in jail. I mean, that's just what I've seen from men not being accountable. I've seen plenty of instances where women can be unaccountable. And nothing happens, may get a slap on the wrist, stuff may catch up with or whatever. But as far as men, it seems to be right then and there when the man is not accountable for his actions. What you think about that, Sean?
I mean, it's true, man. It's man, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard, man. Even when it's confusing, even when it's just crazy, even when you don't even understand it, man. You just got to hold yourself accountable. But, once that dude holds himself accountable and he goes to try to fix it, men who don't care, they're not trying to say they're sorry. Men who don't care, they ain't trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Men who don't care are not trying to render themselves vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to tell this person, listen, I love you. I don't want to live without you. They ain't trying to rectify no situation or circumstance. Yeah. They're not trying to better themselves and admit their faults. That listen, man, I'm a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? You always got to hold yourself accountable. Something my mom said. My mom always told me, Sean, own your mess. Just own it. My mom always told me, she said, reason I respect you so much and I admire you because you own it. You don't give no excuses or justifications. You just own it. You hold yourself accountable, and whatever consequences that comes thereafter, you're going to put it on your shoulders and you're going to handle it and you're going to deal with it. I mean, man, we just gotta step it up, man. And, and just understand, that just because you render yourself vulnerable to whomever, it can be your wife, woman, whatever, just because you render yourself vulnerable, man, that there's strength in that, brothers. There's not, a weak man is not going to render himself vulnerable because he's just gonna run from the situation. But when you're coming from a place of strength, you're gonna render yourself vulnerable, and you're gonna be like, listen, I screwed up, I messed up. How can we make this right? You know what I'm saying, or whatever. You're gonna stand on holding yourself accountable, and you're not justifying it. And once he holds himself accountable, he's trying to gain an understanding. Okay, because sometimes, and this is just the human part of all of us, we cannot know we do a thing wrong, and the other person says, hey, this wrong, this what you did, whatever the case may be, and you may not even be, you may have no self-awareness of it. You may have said something like, man, that's not what I meant to say, or whatever the case may be, but still, even in the confusion of it, still hold yourself accountable, man. Because at the end of the day, nobody can say, well, you know what? He didn't apologize. He didn't say he was sorry. He didn't hold himself accountable. Once a man holds himself accountable, I mean, what more can he do once he's stepping up to the plate and he's owning it. He's taking responsibility for it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's got to be a sense of mercy on the other end, a sense of uh, give this person an opportunity for a chance of redemption. It's got to be something once that person actually, pretty much bend the knees so much and put themselves in the most vulnerable state as possible, you know, and try not to kick a man when he's down,
Yeah.
especially when he's trying to hold himself accountable. And sometimes that may happen in life, man. People love kicking people when they're down. They
Yeah.
just, instead of lifting them up and consoling them, now let me just stomp you down just a couple more times, make you feel even
Yeah.
lower than what you actually feel.
Yeah. Like as Garrett Morris said on the Jamie Foxx show one time, he said something to Jamie, and Jamie, he's like, kick a man while he's down. I see you. He said, well, that's the best time to kick him, Jamie, because then he can't kick back. That's why. That's the reason right there, Sean. That's why people do it, because they know you can't retaliate in the way that you would had you not been in the situation that you're in. Kicking people while they're down, it's low hanging fruit. It's easy to do.
But there's a flip side to that coin that my mom's always told me: be very careful when you kick somebody down. You may not like, but
Oh
that
yeah.
person get up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That's the other one.
people who come from a place of strength, who've been fighting all their life, they kind of, I don't want it's weird. I know for me, I kind of get inspired by it. I
Yeah.
kind of get hyped. I'm like, okay, now we making some progress because I'm down. And I'm like, okay, now you got to show them who the lion is. That I've been
Mm-hmm.
kicked down all my life. And I love it because I'm going to come back 100 times stronger. And when I come back stronger, you may not like what may come of that
Yeah.
once I stand up. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
try not to get people in their weak, vulnerable states, man. But some people that they play that messy game.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
people
and then
just
they play the victim. Once you get back up to where you are, and then you go back out, and they play the victim. Then I've seen that many times. But man, people
right,
have to understand that number one, the world doesn't know you understanding. Whether you did know, didn't know, or whatever,
right,
doesn't know you understanding. And at no point should you feel, no matter what kind of status, money, power, or anything that you gain, that you can't be touched. I mean, you have guys with these attitudes like they can't be touched. For example, last night I talked about too many athletes over the last couple of weeks who are in situations that is entirely their fault. They put themselves in those situations, and not only that, from Jerry Judy in his situation with the mother of his child, where
what
she
happened with
found
that
out
situation?
she found out he had three phones. She thought he only had one. She found out he had two more, and she wanted to go through them. So she took the phones, and she had some formula, some car seat, and the papers. So he locked it in his car. He's like, "You give me the phone, I give you my stuff." And she ended up calling the police. Now she's telling the judge, "Well, I felt no harm. I didn't feel any danger. Could you please drop the charges?" Well, why did you call the police? No, see, you
Right,
got in your feelings. Now he has this on his record, and now his reputation is taking a hit. And she's doing that now because if Jerry can't get a second contract and make that big money, that's money out your pockets because you have his son. I mean, you're
right,
not thinking about this stuff, but that's Jerry Judy's fault. Richard Sherman, same thing. He got in that trouble where he was on the Ring doorbell camera trying to beat down the door to get to his in-laws because they had got into it. Well,
mm,
come to find out, one of the reasons why this situation may have happened is because he had a kid with some other woman, and his wife found out about it, and they started going through it. And now the young lady's on social media blasting him, talking about he don't take care of his kid, but he still come through there to sleep with her. And I'm like, well, first of all, that's you. Why are you sleeping with a man that's not doing anything for his kids and he's a millionaire? I don't understand that. That should be from the door before you even touch him. I'm like, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. So that's on you. But this is Richard's fault again. He put himself in this situation. Earl Thomas just got arrested. They caught him 2 days ago because he made threats to his wife and his ex-wife's boyfriend, and threatened to poison his own children.
what?
Yes, the story's wild, Sean. The story's wild. Not to mention, you got Young Thug and Gunna and all those guys from YSL who are going down on these RICO charges. And from what I saw, they got some evidence. Once again, dude, you have to wake up. You're not untouchable. I know you live in this life, the glitz and the glamour and all these things. Yes, it's nice, but they are watching you. They are. Soon as you hit a certain status, especially as a black man, they're watching and monitoring your activities. And if the police are not doing it, if the feds are not doing it, if you ain't in that kind, you're an NFL player, you best believe the Denver Broncos are watching what you're doing. The Jacksonville Jaguars are watching what you're doing. The Dallas
Right.
Cowboys are watching what you're doing. You're basically belong to them because you play for them. So you best believe they're watching everything that you're doing. But it's men out here who just think they may be above the law because as a man, you can't go off that I didn't know. That doesn't work for a man. It's never going to work for a man. That I didn't know is not going to work because that's not going to matter. You breaking the law, you doing these things, and you putting yourself in these situations, and you're fumbling the bag, man. You're fumbling the bag.
Wow, man. That's crazy, man. I did not know all that stuff was going on, man. I must be living up under a rock, bro.
Yeah, they don't especially the athletes. They don't broadcast it as much. Now Earl Thomas is the one because he got arrested. That one was major, and Jerry Judy, both of them were arrested. But it's so many stories and instances like that. And then not even just young men. I'm not even just gonna bash. I can't just bash on the young men, Sean, because we know it's some old dudes out there who are still out there trying to live that lifestyle.
Right. Right.
They
Yeah.
are. They
Yeah,
are.
man.
And they're influencing the younger men to do the same. One thing you have to do, you have to pay attention to what's currently going on. Now, one of the things that we want to talk about as well is with Kevin Samuels, just Kevin Samuels, and I'm not, talking about him just by him, but the things surrounding him and surrounding his death and the way people reacted to it and the things that have been said. Now, one of the things I was taught, I mean, seemingly very early. I don't know if it was from the church or my grandparents. I don't know who to credit, but I've been told since I was as young as I can remember, don't disrespect the dead.
Don't
It's
disrespect
been
what?
the dead.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
don't disrespect the
Yeah.
dead. I've been told that
I've been told
countless
that. I've been
times,
told that
beaten to my head.
from my grandmother, man, as a kid. Yeah, man. You don't say nothing negative on the dad's name. You know.
Yeah,
That's that's
yeah,
that's 100% upbringing right there, man. That's straight up upbringing.
yeah,
And some
yeah,
people, man, some people don't have. I'm not defending. I'm not defending them. I don't want you to think I'm defending them, but we all got we sometimes we have to think outside the box, man. Some people don't have the proper intel and educational knowledge of a proper upbringing when it comes to your character, your mind, your heart. Some people don't, they haven't had that type of dialogue with no adult in the house. So when they grow up to be an adult, when they go through things, it's all about them and they're pretty much just selfish and it's like F everybody else because they don't have the proper communication skills to or just the simplistic logic, man, to understand that you you when you just because you're going through things don't mean you have to treat a person a certain way because you're going through something.
yeah,
And you always got to think about how would you feel if someone would do you that way. You see what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
it in life, God is funny, man. He brings everything full circle for you to see what you did. And
yep,
people don't understand. He is my mom always said, Sean, and it's I fear God. I don't everybody can think what they want or whatever, but I fear that dude. He is
yeah,
always seeing the thing, treat people how you want to be treated. He is always watching how you treat people.
yeah,
And he's looking at you like, all right, I'm gonna have Karma gonna have to come pay her a visit because she ain't listening. Karma's gonna have to come pay him a visit, and he is listening. And the what you did, the karma gonna come back at you harder than what you did
Yeah.
because you have to learn the lesson, because you have to treat all people in every situation how you would want to be treated.
Yeah.
You just got to do that. My auntie Deborah told me something, man, when I lost my mom. She said, Sean, just because you lost your mother, don't give you a right to treat nobody in a negative way. Don't give you a right
Yeah.
to disrespect people. Don't give you a right to talk to people in any kind of way, to go off on people. Listen, you're gonna have to pay, you're gonna have to answer to that.
Yeah.
It's not justification because you've lost somebody. You lost your mom, Sean. You go out and you just talk to people like they dogs, and you treat
Mm-hmm.
people. It's like, Sean, you gonna have to answer that. You know he is looking at you and is like, okay, I know he hurting, but there's no justification in that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you can still be respectful through your hurt and pain. You can still
Yeah.
be thoughtful through your hurt and pain, considerate through your hurt and pain. Just you still can be loving through your hurt and pain. And
Mm-hmm.
these are things that I've learned through therapy, because when we're going through things, we just, man, we just lash out, bro. We just
Yeah.
lash out. And then us as men, when we do that, we got to hold ourselves accountable to go back and be like, you know what? Listen, man, you got to fix that. You got to apologize for that. You got to rectify that. You just can't
Yeah.
just let that stuff just filter.
Yeah.
Because when you
Emotional
just let,
outbursts can kill you.
huh?
Emo- Emotional outbursts can be death for a man.
Yeah, man. So you once you do that, you have to go back and you got to be like, you know what? I could have handled that better. I know I hurt you in what I said. People don't understand, when somebody hurts you and you turn around and hurt them, now you in the same boat as them. Y'all in the same boat. You just, now whatever they did to you, you just as wrong.
Yep.
You no different than them. And that person has said they are sorry and they apologize. You ain't saying nothing because you feel as if how you feel supersedes everything else in this whole entire universe. And
Yep.
when my auntie Deborah, who I love the most, she I loved her so much. When she told me that, I had to gut check myself, man, because that was tough love. And I know she said it's hard for me to tell you this. She said, but Sean, even in loss, you ain't justified to treat nobody in a negative, derogatory, bad way. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to answer to that. And it's gonna come back full force because God don't have no respect to person. You know, your blessing gonna come from how you respond.
Yeah.
That's where it's gonna come from. Your blessings gonna come from how you respond. And when you respond in the opposite way, well, you done shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly it, man. And like it's you have to wake up as a guy.
Right.
You have to understand that we play by two different sets of rules. Women live in a different reality from us, and it's so many young men who were son husbands where dad wasn't around, just mom were around, and you basically patterned yourself after your mom because she was the one who was modeled in front of you. Your father wasn't there, and you watch her emotional outbursts, act out, disrespect people, and you go out and you think you can do the same thing. And that's what we're seeing with these young boys today. They think they can do the things that their mother did, and they find out very quickly, yeah, you don't have that privilege. You can't do things like that because, hey, I got these bracelets for you over here, and we have this casket for you over here. If that's the way you want to go,
Right.
I mean, as a man, you have to know when you're walking around, there's a low level threat of violence in every single interaction that you have with another man.
Right.
Every single interaction. Hey, that's when they say, well, who's more unprotected? Who's more unsafe? Men, because on the street, you're not in threat of rolling up on another man and getting your teeth pushed back into the back of your throat.
No.
Not unprovoked. For as far as a man, no, that could be for any reason. Dude could like my hat, and it's over for me, and
Right.
he want my hat. I mean, that's just what it is, man. You know.
That's right.
But one of these, I wanted to highlight my brother, Mr. Omarion, because he said something that I agree with this 100%. And this is, I understand. And I'm going to play the clip in which he's referring to. And this is not an attack on the black church as a whole. This is an attack on certain people within it, because we know no matter what the organization is, even with the Black Lives Matter organization who have laundered money, there are people who had good intentions within the organization.
Right.
But so let's see. Okay, here we go. So Omarion steps into the shade room in response to Pastor Jamal Bryant's sermon about Kevin Samuels. He said, "It's sad when people can't respect the family after losing a loved one. He's no longer here. Why add insult to injury? What about the people that loved him, like his mom? They got to see this or hear about it, and this is disgusting and whack as F. Regardless of his views, he didn't kill nobody. We all need to have more compassion. This is why I don't attend these fake places of worship respectfully." And to give you context on what he is talking about, let me show you. See where we at. Okay, here we go.
To me. I don't care what kind of man of God you claim to be. If you don't have an authentic woman of God in your life who can hold you into accountability, then your gift ain't going nowhere. Many of you all are quoting that a woman ought to submit. She ain't supposed to submit to any man. She's supposed to submit to a man who is submitted under God. If he ain't submitted, don't you buck your knee. You better stand right there until you find a man. You are listening to men who have no authority. How can a man say that you are of low value after 35? How can a man say that you do not have the level of traction of a high-powered man when that man has got to get a GoFundMe for his funeral? Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. You got to be in that place where you operate in the authority of God. Look at another sister around you. Tell them, it's not that I hate men. Come on, look at another sister. Say, I do not hate men. I just despise weak men. I despise cowardice men. I just ain't got time for men who are insecure about my gift. I'm not going to dummy down because of what God got me. I don't have to lower my standard. That man got to step all the way up to deal with a queen on my level.
So I'm not going to focus on what he said about Kevin, because it's been said and many people have said things. Right. What I want to focus on is the back end of that message. That was pure pandering. It was. That was pandering at its finest. I don't have to dumb myself down. No weak men, no cowardice men. It sounds like feminist talk. That's what that sounds like.
Right.
And while he's all it is, and this is why men, you have to pay attention. These are empty words with no solution. There's no solution. He's not laying out a game plan for these women to get what they want. He's telling them what they want to hear. This is why men have left the church the way they have, because now it's become a business. You have to cater to your best customers, the ones who are going to spend the money. Women are going to spend the money. One thing a man is not going to do, Sean Taylor's not going to take his dollar, continuously invest in the church, and y'all tell me it's going to this, and I see nothing, that no progress towards whatever it is I'm supposedly giving my money to. Men are going to ask the questions. Brandon Lamb is going to ask. I'm like, hey, we giving this. You said we going to build this and we going to do this. We still got issues here. We still have issues here. Well, where's the money going? Where is it allocated? Men are going to ask those questions.
Right. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't. I mean,
He's
I really,
apologized for this, by the way, because he knew
huh?
he was wrong. He's apologized for that message. He knew he was wrong.
Well, that's good, man, because the message just came. I don't know. The message just came out a different way than
Hmm.
than what it should have. But I'm not going. I ain't going to harp on preachers too much, man.
Oh no, his history is you could just Google it. We don't have to go over his shortcomings because nobody's perfect.
Right,
But for him of all people to talk about this, just Google him and his shortcomings, and you'll see false prophet.
right. The I mean, I've seen that dude in person years ago, man. Um, but the brother's gone now, man. I just the whole GoFundMe thing, man. That was just totally unnecessary, man. It's just you pretty much spitting on a man's grave right now. And that dude, he can't. That dude can't defend himself, man. So it's
Yep,
it's 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 one of those things, man. That is very disheartening, man.
it
It's just
is.
real disheartening where we are, um, as black people, as a community, as a nation, man. Just it's just I like I told you earlier, man. I really don't have no words, man. Things are so upside down right now, bro.
Hmm.
I'm just at the point, man. All you can do is pray right now, man.
Yeah,
That's it, man.
yeah.
Just pray, man, and that's it, man. That's pretty much all you can do because it's so upside down, man, that I don't know if it's ever gonna get right side up again.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why it's disheartening, Sean, and the way you feel that way, and the reason you probably have no words is that it's so like just like he had that congregation full of people who are clapping and yeah, yeah, yeah. It's people like that in the community who are like that,
Right,
and it,
right,
it doesn't seem like it's disheartening because you're like, man, it's so many of you are on this bandwagon full of crap, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's so, and I understand now why guys who have that charismatic that talk and being able to put words together who able to gain popularity or are able to gain power and things like that, and they've done nothing to show anything behind the words that they've said, and they've gained popularity off of it. Nothing in the community, nothing for their people. They set up no resources. They've done none of those things. They've done nothing but take, and all they've done is giving you words in exchange, man. And I was on them like, man, how do you get caught up like that? How do you get bamboozled like that, hoodwinked like that? But it's because people don't want to hear the truth. That's men or women. They want the sweet lies. We talked about it, Sean. They're brittle today. You got that brittle spirit where you don't want to be told what it actually is, what the problem is, things you can do to fix it, where you currently are, what your status is. You don't want to hear the truth about those things because it hurts. It
yeah,
hurts. And the reason it hurts is because you most likely, 9 times out of 10, are the reason why you are where you are. That's
right,
the real pain, is that you put yourself in these situations. And
right,
instead of doing something about it, you listen to someone coddle you. Man, you can't do that. You can't, because all you're gonna do is be in the same perpetual loop that you've been in before. It's just gonna keep going in cycles. That's all that's gonna happen. No tangible change is gonna happen until you get up and you make the change.
right. I mean, you you have to, man. You really have to. Men have to really just. At first, it starts with us.
Yeah,
B. This is a good subject with doing a self examination, gut checking yourself, gut checking yourself, and self examination of things you've said, what you've done, and
yeah,
how you can do better. You know, um, you know, um, I've heard my mom and aunt say all the time, man, a trying man is everything. A man who's trying to do better, who wants to do better, I mean, he's trying to he's working on himself. He's doing the best that he can, you know. But in these type of dynamics and situations, when it comes to who's right or who's wrong, or it's all about me, or you know, whatever the case may
Yeah.
be, man, it's it's like we were speaking about offline, man. It's like, you know, how can you help me understand to understand you better, you know, and
Yeah.
how can I help you understand to understand me better so we can better get along with each other. It's like no one wants to sit down and have conversations. You know, my mom used to talk about, she's like, Sean, feelings mess up everything.
Mm-hmm.
When you have when you trying to have a conversation for change, for growth, for things to get better, you have to leave judgments and feelings out of it.
Yeah.
Feelings and judgments, it clouds everything. You got to leave ego out of it and pride, because ego and pride is not taking you nowhere. It's like it's
Yeah.
taking you no place. So until we learn and grasp that concept that we got to leave these certain things out of it so we can better understand each other, we're never going to get to that happy medium, a place where we reach a happy medium and we could just move on from that, you know. But it's like, you know, people when people wrong you or people make a mistake, you don't supposed to make that person feel worse than they already feel about the mistake. You know, you got to give, where's the compassion, where's the mercy, where's the sense of redemption, where's the second chance, where's the communication of, you know what, I can see how I may have looked at that the wrong way, or I
Mm-hmm.
can see how what I said may have came across misconstrued. Where is that mature conversation at? And we don't want to have that, man, because we're so caught up into our emotions and our feelings and judgments. We care more about those things than we care about, you know, each other. And
Yeah.
it's sad. It's
Yeah.
sad, man.
Well, the reason why we are in the current state we are is because men don't care about men's problems. That's just what it is. If more men cared about the problems that we have, then we'd be more willing to fix what's going on, more attention to the issues, and more men have to tell their story, Sean. More
Right.
men have to tell their stories. Not enough men in our communities told the stories of the things they went through throughout their life, not just relationships, but just life in general. Not enough of them told their stories. Like I didn't get the stories from my uncles and my grandfathers and stuff like that. Only my dad, told me stuff, as I've gotten older and over the years, but they didn't share those things with me. And those men, they had careers, they were married, children, experienced so many different things, and they did not talk about their experiences. Had they talked about their experiences more, and men in general talk about it more, younger men can avoid the traps. Young men are still falling in traps today that we should be over right now. It should be stuff you should be able to see it and step right over it because another man has already been through it and told you about it. Women have no problem coming to the table and talking about the issues. Men want to keep it bottled up. They don't want to share. And I understand the stigma that's on, speaking your feelings and talking about what you went through because you don't want to come off as weak or as a victim. And I get that. But not having that information is hurting the younger men.
Right. Right. And you know, the you know, I'm just gonna use myself an example. Like in times past, you know, years ago, you know, when men when they do, if they've done it in their past, they've rendered themselves vulnerable. But people don't understand, intimacy and vulnerability goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Um, you can't have intimacy without vulnerability, and you can't have vulnerability
Yeah.
without intimacy. So these things they coincide together, you know. So if you when if these guys, a lot of these guys have done this before, and that person in the heat of an argument has thrown up their vulnerability in their face and used it against them. So a lot of men, it's so hard for them to do that again because they don't want their vulnerability to be thrown up in their face. It's so hard when you trust this person. This person has painted a picture that they are safe to love. And you trust them as your friend, and you share with them so many details, painful stuff that you've actually went through. And they'll throw it up in a conversation. I'm like, dude, I trusted you with that, not for you to use as ammo against me.
Yeah.
So a lot of dudes, man, they're with women that they don't even know, or they question, is this person even safe for me to love? Can I even trust them with intimate details about what I went through, and she not use these things against me? You know, I've been through that stuff years ago, man, and it just makes you get so, it makes it so hard for you to communicate forward, because it's like, is this person going to use these things against me? So a lot of these brothers are probably going through that, and they're experiencing that, and no one is making them feel safe for them to come to them and be like, you know what, you could tell me anything. I'm your best friend.
Yeah.
I'm not going to betray you in that. I'm not going to use that against you to take advantage of the situation or the argument or the dispute that we're having. And that happens, man. That happens a lot between the opposite sexes. It does, man. It happens a lot. So these guys are fighting through things, man, that was maybe, you know, I mean, traumatizing is such a hard word, but man, when a dude, and I've said this to just women in general, I'm like, man, when a dude loves you, when he is in love with you, and he loves you hard, and you turn that thing around like his love means nothing, he's probably not going to love you the same. It's going to be different because he trusted you with that. You know, you said you weren't gonna leave him. Dude got abandonment issues, man. You know, then you make the dude feel like, oh man, that is true. People don't abandon what they want; they abandon what they've used.
Yeah.
And people don't think. Nobody. You know, and this is my message to women: think about the mental psyche of how a man thinks. If he's told you that he's had these type of issues, and he's giving you the blueprint that everything, and you go and do the same thing that reminds him of that hurt and pain, it's going to be so hard for him to come back from that.
Yeah.
You know, and you just left him out there like he's nothing. So, but he's put all his, the dude loves you. So that dude is hurting because that dude, he was like, man, I waited for this. And you know, and some women feel like that on the back end. Look, I waited for this. I'm not playing no games with you, man. I done gave you my love, my heart. I mean, I done emotionally invested. And you could just walk away from me like I'm nothing. That's it's a hard pill to somewhat swallow, and no one thinks about that, man. No one thinks about that, you know. So this is what a lot of dudes, and these are dudes that I've talked to, and I'm not going to say these guys' name to put their business in the street. These are dudes that have had conversations with me, you know, and you can hear the pain in their voice, man.
Oh yeah, from the hardest dudes. I don't care how big and bad a dude is.
Dude,
I mean, when he comes to talking about their woman,
hardest dudes.
Yeah, the hardest dudes.
Because when a dude that's hard and tough, it's had to be hard and tough all his life, give you this. He is entrusting you with that. When he gives you that, he is pretty much entrusting you with that. And that's a big deal for him, because not many people have had that, and he can count on one hand of the people that he's given it to. You may be number 3 out of
Yeah.
50 people he's actually been involved with. You're only number 3. That dude is only giving his heart to 3 people in his whole freaking life. And he gives you that, and you don't even, you carelessly don't take care of it. And you can't hear him, because all you hear is the own sounds and voice in your own head. And that's the disconnect. The voices in your head is so loud that you can't even hear what that brother's trying to tell you, and what he's trying to convey to you in honesty, in sincereness, and just truth. And how you it's going to be hard for him to come back from that. 9 times out of 10, he may not. He be like, man, I'm just kind of done, man, because I'm like, dude, I didn't waited, and I thought I had something. Like, dude, I'm loyal to you. I'm loyal to you even on bad terms.
Yeah.
And you can't get in the ring and fight with me on this one, man. But I mean, the world is, it's the traumatic experience on both ends. All these things, man. It's so much stuff people are fighting through and battling through. Women are battling through things, and men are battling through things, man. But I don't know, man. It's hopefully they can come together, man, and realize they're on the same team. Listen, we partners, man. I got your back. You know what I'm saying? I know we're in a rough patch, but I'm not gonna leave you in this rough patch by yourself. I'm not gonna leave you in the trenches taking grenades by yourself. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? And ladies, you gotta understand, when that man that's in love with you, I mean that dude that really loves you, knows that you with him, you have no idea how it gives him strength.
Yeah.
He
does.
He don't look at you as somebody up under his feet. He look at you as his ride or die partner.
Yeah.
So he views you respectfully, and you don't even realize what's in front of you, because you got so much that you've been through in your past. You can't recognize a phenomenal thing that's right in front of you. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody is perfect, but a person that loves you with no judgments, man, there are people that are craving for that. I mean, they are. Can I just be with somebody I could just be myself with? You know how many people who just want to be with somebody they can just really let their hair down, and that person who can see them naked, no makeup, you know how many people that just crave that?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about what the dating game is today. I mean, it's how can I get the most out of this person without giving up much in return? I mean, that's just that's the game and how it is. But you have to understand your value as a man, which is something that I hadn't understood until like the last couple of years. Because if you grew up around the time that I grew up, you're in that age range of me. You're a millennial. You saw all of the conditioning and programming that was pretty much anti-male. We're just going to call it that. It's anti-male because it painted men, specifically black men as well, but men in general, in a bad light. I mean, no matter what the show was, from Oprah to Ricky Lake, Donahue, Jerry Springer, Maury, you name it, the list goes on and on and on and on. Shooting music, movies, commercials, sitcoms, just the way men were depicted as the bumbling idiots, and women were like, the dad will come in and he's struggling with something that a man should be able to easily fix, and the wife can come in and she does it in one setting. And he's just like, oh, I didn't realize, but like he's a stupid oaf and he doesn't know how to do things for himself. I've seen that over and over and over again. It's basically the plot for a lot of stuff. Dumb oaf husband, smart strong wife. That I've seen that too many times, in whether it's movies, shows, sitcoms, cartoons. It doesn't matter. I had a poor image of men, specifically black men, because of what was broadcasted to me, because of what was told to me. I thought we were worthless. We didn't have value. We convicts and baby daddies and gangbangers out here, Sean. That's what I thought from what I had saw and what I was told. But man, when I woke up and I saw what the truth really was, man, that was a crazy day. That was a crazy day because now I question every situation and scenario. I don't care what a woman or man says. I question everything now.
Wow. I never thought about it like that, man.
Oh yeah. See, Nesco say this is real talk because some brothers won't even get deeply involved because of just listening to the stories of other brothers who are damaged by this very topic. This is why counseling is so important. To live life in fear of something you never tried is even worse, in my opinion. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what you do is a lot of people they'll take things to heart. You know, they'll take things like um, they'll somebody talk about their experience and they'll think that, oh, well, that same thing is going to happen to me. Now, men, I would say typically don't necessarily think like that because think about it like this, and that's with women. Women can be easily influenced by their friend group when it comes to choosing partners and choosing mates. No, if the friend group don't like him, if somebody know him to say he's this or he's not cute enough, he's not what enough, and they talk down on the guy, they can influence her decision to deal with him, you know. But take men, for example. Men always had this thing where, oh, that happened to him. That's not really going to happen to me. How many times have you had a friend, brother, your homeboy, somebody, you like, hey, this is not a good idea. She's not this. I don't think she has your best interest, dude. She's this. And dude's like, oh, whatever, man. You just a hater. That's my baby. That's the, and he keep going on. Happens all the time.
Yeah, it's happened to me several times. Several, you know, and
Yep.
what should have put a light bulb in my head when somebody like my brother has never said anything about nobody, but when he spoke up, I should automatically listen
Yeah.
because that brother don't say nothing about nothing. I mean, he said something about one person. My whole life, he said something about one person, and I was like, man, whatever. I'm gonna do this. Whether y'all like it or not. And you know what? Lynn ain't gonna go back and forth with you. Like, all right,
All right.
and that was it.
You know what Lynn did? He got his popcorn. He sat back and watched you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, how he did. Yeah.
And so when it unraveled years ago, when I was going through this years ago, when it unraveled, and I told him, he was like, well, you know. It was short and sweet. He ain't hash on it. He ain't beat it. He ain't make a brother feel bad. He said, well, you know, try to say something. You shut me down.
Yeah.
You shut me down quick. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. So you know, that's the thing I should have listened to when he had told me. He was like, I don't know, man. And then my mom said something too. My mom said it's like, you know, it's a certain way a woman looks at a man that you know she's all about him and she's in love with him.
Yeah.
I say all because of the eyes, Mom. And so, you know, I'm young back then, but now I see. Now I see what my mom was saying. The most important thing when it comes to dealing with anybody, Sean, it's not what they make. It's not where they live. It ain't even where they come from. The most important thing, as you get older, you're going to see this. The most important thing that's going to show you everything is this. The mind of an individual is going to show you long term how they're going to talk to you, how they're going to forgive you, how they're going to be there for you 10 toes down or not. All these things, she said, Sean, if it's derived from here. This is going to give you the whole entire playbook of this individual. And baby, I'm going to tell you something. If this ain't right, that person's going to hurt you, and they're going to hurt you bad. Because they mental's not together. And a person who's mentally unstable, everything in his path is nothing but collateral damage.
Yeah.
And they kind of don't really care, or they don't even see it, because it's almost like, she said, I'm not going to say they're emotionless, because they're not emotionless. It's like what they go through, their their life is way more important than yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are just some person that they're just pretty much just with. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't, I didn't understand that until I got older.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got past all the all this stuff,
Yeah.
once I got past all that, and I realized it's not the beauty or the looks of a person that's important. It's the mindset of the person that's important, because that's going to tell you everything. When things are upside down, how it's going to be handled. It's going to let you know if they loyal on good terms. I mean, are they loyal to you even on bad terms?
Yeah.
Are they just going to throw away the towel on you? Are they one of those people who just abandon what they've used, and once they use you up and got whatever they want out you, they don't want you to know. She was, my mom was like, Sean, the mindset tells you so much about individuals. And the older I got, the more I got deeper into the mental and the mindset and the mindset and the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything that comes out that person's mouth comes from here. How they treat you comes from here. How they talk to you comes from here. How they think of you comes from here. If they consider it and thoughtful, it comes from here. Everything comes from here. It don't worry about the mouth. Worry about here. Because if that ain't right, I say it all the time. If the mind ain't right, the rest don't matter, man. It
No.
doesn't.
No.
And it's not going to change with the next person or the next person or the next person or the next person. It's gonna be a constant series of hits and runs. There's no stability, because the thing that they have not worked on is this. That
Yeah.
mind, man.
True. He said, I know 5 brothers right now who don't want to get married because their homeboys got bad wives or lived in a home with a bad marriage. Remember, us men don't talk about things like we should. I just talked about that. We should to the right people like we should, I guess. And guess what? All 5 are younger men. Yeah. Yeah. And then too, also, not only, seeing other people's situations, other men and talking about it, I just look at overall the state of things. And as far as me being, whether I'm a traditional man and I want to marry and have children one day, or whether I want to be a bachelor or whatever, listening to those who are already doing what I want to do and listening to the pitfalls. Because right now, like say marriage, for example, Ness, I see what the pitfalls are. I see um, how the family court is. I see divorce. I see how women are basically incentivized to leave, and they're gonna get happy stuff. The home and all of that stuff, and I see all of that. So I already know that if I want children, which if I do want to get children, want to have children, I want to marry their mother because I want to bring them up in a 2-parent home. I'm basically rolling the dice, is what I'm doing. I am. No matter who the woman is, no matter how long I've known her, I'm rolling the dice because there's no guarantees. No matter in what you do, there's no guarantees in it. You're
Mm-hmm.
rolling the dice. You're taking a chance, and it's on you whether you want to take that chance or not. And some guys are looking at it and they're like, man, okay, I see what the market is. I see what women supposedly want, and I'm not a lot of these things they supposedly say they want. I can try to build myself into that, but then if I build myself into what they say they want, they're only going to want to be with me because of what I built myself into, not because of who I am. So like you didn't, then you get kind of stuck because we could talk about people liking you for you, but we know that's not going to be many people, period. And we're not even talking about just relationships, Sean. That's anybody. Because most people you come across are going to be trying to either going to see what they can get out of you or what you can do for him. That's male and female. You have to know that. That's what most people in your life are going to come in to do. Most are not going to care about you and what happens to you. That's just what it is.
Right. It's sad, man. It's really sad, but that's the world we live in, man, and it's very unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. So it's like, what do you do?
When you find those good people, hold on, man. Hold
Yeah,
on. Support those good people. You got people in your corner. Hold on. Hey, Kevin preached it. Life is about relationships. It's about the people. So when you find those people, you hold on to the people. You try to maintain those relationship with those people, because without people, nothing moves. No, you're going to go further by having a good name through people, than anything else, because you have social proof. If I'm trying to go for a position somewhere, say at a major corporation, and five of the people, whether it's mid level to high level, know me, know, oh man, yeah, Brent, that's a good young man. I have a better chance of getting in there, don't I?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
So that networking too, my men, especially my loners, because I'm a loner myself, and I'm pretty much away from people majority of the time because I like my me time, I like my alone time. But I also realize that if I want to get out here and I want to build a platform for myself, I got to press the flesh and network with people. I have to collab. I have to do what I'm doing now with Sean. I can't being a lone wolf. Yeah, you can. You can do it in some instances. You got the backing. You've done everything for yourself, but you're going to go a lot further by building relationships and networking with your fellow man.
Right. Now that's true. I agree with you 100% on that one, brother.
Yeah. So you need to see how people deal with adversities. That tells all. Oh yeah, yeah. When somebody's going through something, how they react to it. How they react to it. One of the things I've heard where they said if you have somebody who you're dealing with, and you want to find out what kind of person you're dealing with fairly early, plan a vacation somewhere and stay for like a couple of days. They say vacations are very stressful, and so it's gonna whoever that person is, most likely is gonna come out during vacation. And I said, man, is that right? Vacation is because I know vacation can be stressful, but they say
Yeah.
that yeah, if you want to find out how that person is, take them on a vacation. Go on vacation with them.
Wow. I'm not, damn, vacation post. I ain't never been on
That's what I
vacation.
said. I was like, we.
I ain't never been on vacation, been stressed. I went on
Yeah,
vacation to de-stress. So I never been
yeah.
on a vacation and was stressed out.
Hey, Kanye got a lyric. He said, "How you mad on vacation?"
Freaking
What's up?
Kanye, poor Kanye.
Yeah, that's
Kanye
how
be
I go.
going through it, boy.
Yeah. So, man, we're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna get these final thoughts. What's your final thoughts on this, Sean?
So, if I had a final thought, you know what? I'm gonna talk about love. Something my mom told me. She said, "Sean, love ain't a feeling. You do know that." I was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "The butterflies and what you feeling up." No, 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 son. Love is not a feeling. Love is a commitment. Because when you
Yeah.
mad at that person and you treating them different, that ain't love. When you mad at a person, just cutting them off, that ain't love.
Yeah.
She say love is what you do in spite of what you feel. That's real love. So let me repeat that. Love is what you do in spite of what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Sean, son, you're going to have a whole plethora of conditional love things. You may have maybe one or two in your lifetime that's unconditional. See, the same,
Yeah.
she says, Sean, the thing with conditional love, it's a laundry plethora type list of all you do. As long as you're in the barrier of these conditions, you're good. If you
Yeah.
do anything outside the barriers of those conditions, my love is no here. So she said, so Sean, my question to you is, is that conditional or is that unconditional? I said, well, Mom, that's conditional. You kind of broke it out. She's like, I just want to make sure that we was clear. And she said, let me tell you something about unconditional. Unconditional love will go through hell's fire with you. It's not going to waver no matter what y'all go through. It can't even fathom life without the two of y'all in it.
Mm-hmm.
Conditional love, Sean, she said, this is how rare it is in life. Conditional love, she said, picture a whole huge haystack. Huge haystack. She said, you know what a haystack look at? You didn't watch Dukes of Hazzard, son. You know what them haystacks are, them things are huge. I say, okay. She said, now picture trying to find a needle in it.
Yeah.
In that whole entire haystack. So I was like, okay, Mom. I said, Mom, that's an amazing analogy. I said, golly. So is it that right? She said, that's how rare unconditional love is. So I said, let me ask you a question. I said, so all these billions of people on the planet, she said, baby, 98% of them people have a conditional love thing.
There it is.
Said, Mom, 98%. She said, baby, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm older than you. I'm only telling you. See, she said, the thing about your generation, y'all got to learn to listen. She said, look at the people who done been together 30, 25, 40 years. That's an unconditional love thing. Look at the divorce rates. People don't get what they want out of this person, they on to the next. They on that conditional love vibe all day, 24/7, 365 days a year, thinking they mean something. She said, baby, what's funny about the world, she said, and I listen to these young girls on the job, I'd be laughing at them, and they'd be like, Miss Gwen, why are you laughing? She said, y'all don't know nothing about love. Y'all don't, y'all have no clue on what love is. You looking for love, but everything about you speaks conditional. From the crown of your head to the sole of your feet and everything in between, baby, you just a conditional love thing. You a conditional love thing, want unconditional love. And let me tell you something, baby, that man who sits high and looks sits high and looks low, he don't work that way.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna give you what you're not yourself. So you're gonna go around life with conditional love things. And conditional love things never work.
Nope.
That was so powerful that I remember it by looking at the palm of my hand. And she said, baby, that's love. You're going to have, and she said, I hate to say this, son, you're going to have a lot of conditional love things in your life. You're going to die.
Yep.
Probably experiencing maybe once or twice unconditional love. That means she going to be there for you no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what mistakes you made, no matter what you have done. She ain't going to abandon you, turn her back on you, give up on you, talk about you in the street, put your business out there in the street for everybody to know about. She is never going to make a fool out of you. You are never going to take your hurts and pains and share your darkness, deepest, darkest secrets with her, and she going to turn around and use them against you. She said, baby, 98%, I bet that on my life, of these people telling me, oh, I love him, I love him. Even the ones there's somebody getting married today. Conditional love thing.
Yep.
There's somebody getting married right now in a conditional love thing. And she say, baby, when you don't give a person what they want, they're going to show you exactly who they are. Baby, that's a conditional love thing. She say, I laugh. I laugh at TV, movies, people on the street, in restaurants, at the job. She said, baby, they walk around these conditional love things, talking about what they want. I deserve this, They all got conditional love things, and they don't even know how to love somebody unconditional. She say they can probably love their kids unconditional. She'll love her dog more unconditionally than she would love you.
Yeah.
It was such a disturbing thing to hear, B, that I thought it was on my mind. I think I was in my late 20s. I thought about it all day. And I called Mom up. I said, Mom, ain't no hope out here then. She said, baby, I'm not going to say that. She said, don't say no hope. Don't say there's no hope. She said, just pray that God sends you a person who understands patience and what the difference between conditional and unconditional. Baby, a lot of them out here are book smart, but they have no common sense. And some of them don't even know the difference between conditional and unconditional. And they want all these things, and they missing the foundation of your situation, of your relationship. If you ain't got unconditional love, that relationship ain't never going to last. But then, Sean, they don't even know how to love unconditionally. How you want unconditional love when you don't know how to love unconditionally yourself? And she say, Sean, they out here. It's crazy. They going from dude to dude to dude, from dude to dude to dude, from dude to dude to dude. And they want unconditional love, but they don't know how to love unconditionally. And they may have had unconditional love right in front of them, and they so mentally messed up, they don't even recognize it. They so blinded by their trauma, they past, the toxic, all the stuff, that they don't even know, they can't even recognize unconditional. And the person that's loving them unconditional, they hurting that person day in, day out, night in, night out. And that's why they're going to continuously get what they've always gotten, because their mind ain't changed and they ain't trying to learn how to love nobody unconditionally. That's it. And she say, son, I hate this. I hate to tell you that. It's going to be like that until they bury you 6 feet under. It's not going to change. Unconditional love, when it comes to your life, that's a miracle from God. That's a blessing. So when you get it, it's going to feel, it's going to be amazing. There's nothing you're going to be able to do that you're going to be able to get rid of that person. They're like, you know what? I'm in love with you. I ain't playing no games with you. I don't know what you're going through, but I need you to figure this out, because I'm in love with you. I'm on an unconditional love thing with you, because you are difficult to love, but I'm still loving you anyway. You hang in. She said, unconditional love hangs in there. She said, don't you know that God wants you to love that person unconditionally? Your blessings going to come from the unconditions. Your blessings don't come from conditions at all, son. That's why they never get blessed, because they are loving people with agendas and motives and conditions. So my final thought for all you people who think you know what love is what you do in spite of what you feel. And baby, if you ain't on that level, you have no idea or clue what love is. And I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for the bros, and I feel sorry for the women out there. I wouldn't have known if Gwen hadn't told me, and I thank God she told me, because I know what that is. And she said, Sean, if you can't love a person to the grave, don't never tell somebody you love them. Don't ever.
Yeah.
If you can't love them to the grave, don't never utter the words, I love you. She said, one thing about you, you don't tell people you love them. You don't tell a lot of people you love them, because I've had conversations with your exes and some ex-girlfriends, and I'm like, man, you know, Sean ain't told me he loved him. I've been with him for a whole year. And she said, well, I taught my son what unconditional and conditional love is. He take that real serious. Yeah. But my mom she said, baby, I told him, but when he does fall in love with you, if he does, he gonna love you hard. He gonna love you hard. So be open-minded enough to receive that love. Because when that dude love you, If you hurt him, it's going to be hard for him to come back out of that. But you have to do something darn near drastic. He'll put up with so much stuff, but when he falls in love with you, the dude, he all in. He ain't gonna say it quick now. That's what he. So if you got him on a timetable, you might as well throw that timetable out the window. Yeah. But when he does admit and looks you in the face and say, "I'm in love with you," that dude's in love with you, and he's gonna be in love with you and loyal to you, even on bad terms, and that's unconditional love. That's my final thought.
Yeah, it's biological too. I mean, women bond through oxytocin and men bond through vasopressin. Meaning, women bonded through oxytocin, they bond immediately, right away. It's almost an immediate bond. It's not It doesn't take very long. Men bond through vasopressin, which you bond over long periods of time. Right. That's the difference between the two of us. Let me get these comments, and then I'm gonna give you my final thoughts. Keep it short, sweet, so we get out of here. See, this is why the mindset of a person you're connecting yourself with is very important, to be lined up with who you are as an individual. Those people also respect you as an individual and value your mindset. Yes, Ness. He said that was powerful, Sean.
Thanks, bro.
No matter what they do, you stay the course. That's real unconditional love. Yeah. No matter what they do, you stay in the course. That's real unconditional love. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we have a common goal. We have things we have to take care of. Regardless of how I feel, stuff still has to be done. Time marches on. We don't have time to sit and stew in the stupor. We have stuff to do.
Right.
Sean, bro, I feel every word you're saying, because this is the way that I am. I love hard even when we don't agree or get along.
Right.
It's
the only way to do it, brother. It's the only way to do it.
That's the only way. That's the only way. But, my final thought is just, I mean, as a man, know that you have value, because I didn't think I had any value. I mean, from the conditioning that I had and what was taught and what was said and what was broadcasted to me, I didn't think I had much value. I didn't think, women had the moral high ground in relationships. They were right, we were wrong. Man bad, woman good. That's how things were presented to us. And people say, oh, that may be a little extreme, but no, all you got to do is just go back and look at stuff. And once you look at stuff and you know what to look for, it's clear as day, because I still see it in stuff today. That's why certain movies are not taken off. Certain sitcoms get canceled because of the rhetoric that they regurgitated over and over and over again. Men don't want to listen to those messages. Like, what? Why would I want to listen to you bash me for an hour and a half and I paid $39.95 to see it? That's not what I want to do.
Right.
So realize the value that you have. And once you realize your value, you're not going to stand for any situation. I know I got value, so you know what I'm gonna do, Sean? I'm gonna vote with my wallet and I'm gonna vote with my feet. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my money out of it and I'm gonna walk away. That's the best thing you could do as a man. Value yourself in every situation and understand you have the control. You can't play the victim. You can't. World is not going to be understanding of you playing the victim. Hey, I can't be one of the YSL members who on these RICO charges talking about, I ain't no thug and gunner was into stuff like that. I just wanted to wear the chain and rap in some videos. That's what I wanted. Oh, man. Sean gone. I think he did that by mistake. But I just wanted to rap in some videos. Oh, is he back? Okay, I got you back. Yeah. I just wanted to rap in some video and wear some ice, and scream out YSL. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't know that they were a gang.
Got me?
Yeah. I just wanted to rap in some video and wear some ice, Oh, you still listening on the thing? YSL. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't know that they were a gang. Yeah. Oh, are you playing me on that? Oh, you still listening on the thing?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear the feedback.
Let me put these headphones on, man. Hold on. Yeah, that thing came on.
Okay, I got you.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
But you can't have that excuse as a man. Like, you can't. Hey, I just wanted to rap.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
I can't hear you for some reason. That's weird.
You
I
can't.
can't hear you, man. I don't know. Off, man.
Okay.
You probably can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna finish up my last thought, but yeah, you can't say that I just wanted to do this and I didn't know
off, man.
that they were that's what they were into. That's what they were into. You know, they still gonna be like, no, you were screaming YSL, you're gonna be in here, we're gonna lock you up just like them. As you can't do that as a man. You have to be responsible and you have to take accountability for your actions, man, because you're in control of everything. There's rarely a situation I look at a man has got into that I'll say, man, that was out of his control. That was something that, he couldn't help. It's rare that I ever see that. I look at the situation, I'm say, man, he put himself squarely in that situation. And not only did he put himself squarely in the situation, he's justifying the reason he put himself in the situation as if it's going to make it better. No, men, you got to wake up. You have to do better. You have to prioritize yourself. Vote with your wallet. Vote with your feet, man. But that's all I got. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I don't know what happened with Sean, having issues, whatever is going on with his phone. But hey, tune in. We will be back. Make sure you follow me on all my social medias. Follow Sean on all his social medias. Let's see. No, he's still going. Yeah, follow me on all my social medias. And I will be back. Probably most likely be back tomorrow. I'll do a live stream tomorrow. May talk about what's currently going on as far as the mass deletions going on, because they want you to watch your words because they want to censor. But talk about that. Talk about how drug overdoses are up 15% since 2020. Alcohol consumption is up. Antidepressants, all of those things are up. And, there's not really many publications or people talking about it, what's going on, why it's going on, and what's happening. But it's something that we have to pay attention to, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not 100% comfortable currently in where we're going and how things are, because this stuff that's going unaddressed. It'd be different if these things are happening and we were able to at least talk about it, maybe come to some kind of solutions, conclusions about it. But everybody just kind of like, that's the way things are. That's the way life is. So we want to probably get into it and talk about that, man. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Sean Taylor, Gwen's Boys Mindset on YouTube. Driven Not Motivated 21 on Instagram. I know he's on TikTok, Twitter. So follow him. Taylor Made Trainer for You. He is a personal trainer. So check him out for those services. But until next time, man, I will see y'all later. I'm out of here. Peace out, y'all.